Exron Music. I'm here with you for purpose.
Hey guys.
Thank you for being here with us.
It's alright, thanks for having me.
So, I wanted to ask, can you remember the moment that you wanted to get into music, and did you have any artists you looked to for inspiration when you started making music?
Alright, so I always like had a thing for music, but like where it comes to where I'm at now, so like I used to play like open format music and like stuff like that. So like I got into music through like randomly like one night when I was like 17. I borrowed someone's ID, went to a club. It was like a commercial club. I stood next to the DJ booth the whole night, just like watching the DJ because I was so curious by it. Because I always loved music, and by the end of the night, I weirded him out a bit because I was just stood there staring. And he was like, "Are you alright then?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just watching what you're doing." Like we got chatting, and then like we exchanged details. And every single week after that, I went down to the club, hung out with him. He taught me how to DJ, but that was more like R&B, hip hop, and stuff like that. And it was when like Lee Foss and Jamie Jones started like Hot Natured around like 2013. It was like the deep house like movement. It was like they called it what was it? I can't remember their group. It was like Forward. What was it? Their group. They started a group. It was like Forward Motion or something like that. And that's what got me into house music. And that's when I swapped over. I stopped playing hip hop and R&B. Started going out, partying, and like discovered like house music, DJing it, and then like after a while I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start making it, and then that's who we are now.
Cool.
Yeah.
So we know you had your beginnings at a number of different venues, as you said, in your hometown of London. How, if at all, has the UK music scene informed your music style, particularly?
Like very heavily. So like I always say it's now, like it's like tech house is like quite a big thing now in the US, but like tech house was like the predominant sound in the UK like 6-7 years ago. It's like you guys are quite behind on it. So in the UK at the moment everyone's like minimal, but like when I was making tech house and it was starting to die out, I met Lee Foss. And Lee Foss was like, look, trust me, stick with tech house because it's about to blow up in America. So I like already had like the roots of tech house. I had like a good like 4 or 5 years of like partying and going out and listening to tech house, and then it like blossomed over here. So like it like followed through to here, and that's what I was at the forefront, so to speak, of like what you guys have discovered in the US. So yeah, that's sort of like it's like very heavy influence. But yeah, you guys are like. That's something rude. You guys are like 6-7 years behind. Like,
always. No, I agree. I know that Europe is always like the forefront of fashion, music, whatever it is.
Yeah,
like it comes to North America way later.
Yeah, we set the tones. Like I feel like EDM was the thing here, but like EDM sort of had like a death, and then like, now it's like this new wave. So like Fisher, Chris Lay, like Lee Foss is there as well, and like obviously. Like a few of my releases, like obviously I released with Fish, like I released with Lee Foss, so like I broke into the market even before I was like touring here. I had like massive releases like before, like I was even able to come here and play. So like I was already like I had like a step ahead of like what was going on even before I started to come and play here. Yeah.
So word on the grapevine is your long-awaited single "Activate" is finally dropping in a couple weeks. The uptake is definitely going wild. What would you say is either your favorite or your most underrated track of yours?
I would say Safari. So Safari was like the first track that I made where like before that I was always sampling and like looking for vocals and stuff like that, and I was sending tracks to labels and they were like, oh, we've already heard this sample, we've already heard this vocal. I was like, fuck this. I'm just like, I always like, when I was making tracks, I always like had like ideas and vocals in my head, but I like never acted on it. So I was like, oh, like I've got this sick like idea for this like Safari vocal. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it in my own voice. And I like recorded, I was like, I'm gonna let you ride in my Ferrari to the Safari. And it was a weird like vocal, but I made it work. I hated it. Like because it was just my own voice. I was like, I'm basically my own biggest critic. So I was like, this doesn't work, whatever. I showed it to a few people and they were like, yo, this is fucking sick. So yeah, we put it out, and that was like my first like as a professional artist, that was like my first stamp on the map. But like till this day, like it's like probably like one of my least streamed tracks or like discovered tracks. Like people that know me now from my new music, they'll dig back through and find that and they're like, what the fuck? Like this is a banger, like where did this come from? But at the moment I'm writing a new version of it that we're gonna re-release. Like yeah. It's because like obviously the crowd that follow me now, the people that know me now, like they've never heard it. So yeah, we're writing a new version of it, and we're gonna like release it at some point this year.
Awesome. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So obviously, major congrats on your first successful Miami Music Week.
Yeah.
And also Elrow, like you said, you're going to Elrow on the other end and now playing. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any dream venues that you want to play in the future?
What, in the US?
Anywhere.
Alright, so like anywhere, so like in the US, like on my bucket list, like for the US was Mirage and Space. Obviously we've done Mirage,
Yep.
so like the last one on the bucket list for the US is Space, which I feel we should hopefully get this year.
Yep.
But like worldwide, there's a place in Italy called Kappa Future Festival, and that's on my list. That's like up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so on that note, I'm obviously biased because I just taught you to make ingredients. But what would you say was your favorite venue or city that you played this year?
It's such a tough
Or
question.
like at all generally?
Alright. So I would say that my biggest fan bases are like West Coast, East Coast, like New York and LA. That's where like obviously the biggest like fan group comes out to watch me play and stuff like that. But I don't want to like pin it down to one place. I would just say like the US as a whole, like being a UK artist and coming out here, like no matter where I play, like everyone's been so welcoming, like so accepting of like what I do and like enjoy my music, and it's like it's just the US as a whole, like it's just like I feel like it's the place where I'm meant to be, and like I'm accepted, and I'm not gonna pinpoint it, but it's like I finally like feel like I belong somewhere.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you. So word around the street again is that you're a pretty good cook. Where did you learn, and like how do you find time in your schedule? Like, is that a normal thing?
When I'm on the road, I don't get to cook, but like my nan taught me how to cook. But yeah, when I'm back home, I'm a big cook. And so like everyone's nan's the best cook.
Oh yeah.
Literally, that's what everyone says. Oh, my nan cooks the best food, but my nan was basically like so I was brought up by my mum and my nan, and it's like my nan was probably like more of a mum to me than my mum, and like so I was always around my nan. She cooked like the meanest food ever. So yeah, my nan taught me how to cook. So yeah, that's where I got it from.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
I want to know how you found that out. Where did that even come from?
Oh, well, part of your story. Obviously.
Oh yeah, I cooked for Parker.
Yeah, I'm the only one. You're like my baby. Come on. Okay, so I had to. The way that I had to dig deep for these questions.
Yeah.
Okay. Who would your ideal? Obviously, you just did a back-to-back with Joshwa.
Josh, yeah.
I don't know how many times. So, who would your ideal back-to-back or B3B would be with?
That's a hard one because like it's the ideal one, but it probably wouldn't work now because like my sound sort of digressed from like where I was at previously. Like, so Jamie Jones has always been like he's the guy.
Yeah.
And he's the absolute king. Like I don't care what anyone says, but Jamie Jones, like don't get me wrong, like he has his off days. Like I've seen him a few times where he's okay, but then other times when he's on form, he's the man.
He's a king.
Jamie Jones literally is the king.
He's got it.
He is, but obviously like, our sounds are like a bit different now. But like I can still play that shit. Like, I still like stay in touch with all that sort of stuff. But like if I could ever have the chance to go back to back with anyone, it'd be Jamie Jones. Yeah.
I respect that answer.
Yeah.
Alright, when was the first time that you heard your music live outside of your own set, and how did it feel? Can you remember?
Yeah, I still remember it. So Safari, as we were just talking about. So my friend Will Taylor, like he was resident of like a big brand in London called Abode, and I sent him Safari, and he liked it, but he was like, oh, I've already got my set plan and blah blah. So I was like, look, I bribed him basically with something we probably can't mention in an interview. I was like,
It's fine.
alright, I'll give you a packet. I was like, look, I'll buy you a packet if you play it. And then he played it, and it popped off, and it was because of that it then led to getting signed to the label we got signed to, and then yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Alright, well
Yeah, I bribed my friend basically with narcotics to play my tracks. Like
Listen,
a room
it
full of like
happens.
2,000 people, and it worked. It worked.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, that was the interview. This is Ale with Exron. Thank you.
Thank you very much
for being here.
Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
So call me up.